good sleep. Good sleep! Yes! Good sleep is what I needed. Oh, I actually had to sleep in. I mean, I didn't because I woke up at the usual insanely early time of like 6 o'clock now. I've been going to bed earlier and earlier trying to catch up on sleep, and then I just keep waking up earlier and earlier and then I can't get back to sleep. Today, I actually got back to sleep and slept right through till just after 9 o'clock. Oh my god, beautiful. So I actually got a little bit caught up on sleep at last. I needed that so badly. Hello, hello. Friday is the perfect day to start doing some crazy ass experiments to traverse uncharted territory and delve deeper into places we've never delved before. So we did our little mini game Maze Runner. Really happy with that. I've been considering for a while now. I've been considering for a while now. Is it possible to make a murder mystery using AI, a little murder mystery game, and then even I myself as the developer don't necessarily know what the correct answer is going to be, and I'm going to have to get to the bottom of it myself. I don't know if this is possible, but the only way to know for sure is to delve in and try things, I think. So I want to make a start with that, I think. I don't know where to put it. Where should we put this? Is it a system? I guess it's a system. It's not a service. I might even put it on the canvas. Should I put it on the canvas? Yeah, I might put it on the canvas actually. Screens. I'm gonna make it a child of screens. Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna make a child empty game object called Murder Mystery, and I'm gonna stick it on screen so it belongs to part of the canvas, so we can do all kinds of things from here. Put like title screens and stuff. I imagine I'm gonna want some kind of parent node to set things up with before I start dealing with data and stuff. I don't know. This is kind of tricky. Like I say, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm making this up as I'm going along. I don't know. Let's think. So because the first thing we need to do is we need to generate a murder, right? We need to generate a fictional murder, and so if you look at the title of the stream, I've called it Where, When, Who. So those are the things I'm just going to concentrate on for now. So I'll see what we'll do. Murder mystery. Maybe we'll just make a murder mystery parent script for now. So if we go into our scripts, that's not the right one. That's DAS 3D scripts. We want our scripts. Create an empty script and we'll call it Murder Mystery. Alright, we're going to give that script to the murder mystery object. Hasn't had time to make it yet. Give it a second. Oh, it's because I spelled it wrong. I put Mercer Mystery. I have to change that. It's fine. That would be why. Why is it not showing up? Still making it. Still making it. Alright. Murder mystery. There we go at last. Holy Lord. Holy Lord. Alright, so let's make sure we correct the spelling error in the class name so we don't come across any issues. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the data folder where I like to stash things. I'm going to make a special folder for this because it's going to get pretty intense, I think. So I'm just going to follow its naming convention, make a folder called Murder Mystery, change this so it's spelled correctly. Fuck off. Okay, there we go. Make a Murder Mystery class for our Murder Mystery script. And we're going to need several things in here. So what I want to do first is I want to generate a list. So for lists, we need system collections generic. So let's go ahead and add that. So I'm going to want a list of places to choose from. Now these are basically the hats that we're going to be pulling things out of. Yeah. For now, I'll make it public just so I can see that everything's working. That's not how you do that. These are lists of strings. We're going to call the list of strings places. That's going to be a new list of strings. Okay, that will do for now. Let's just start there for now. And we're probably going to want to make it so that we can play several games. So I'm going to change start into an on enable. Although, yeah, that's fine. So let's just, when we make a new, when we do a new game, we'll just clear that out. I mean, to be fair, we probably should just load that once, but it takes milliseconds to load these lists of just plain strings, so it's not a problem. And maybe I want to be in the middle of a game and then I suddenly have a new idea and I want to add it, and then I just want it to get that new idea. So in that case, this will actually allow us to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a file in our murder mystery folder, and it's just going to be a text document, and I'm going to call it places. And then in places, I'm just going to come up with some places that I would like murders to take place in. So, for example, school, hospital, park, beach, hotel. Where else would be good? Parking lot. You know, we can go on and on and on and on. I'm just trying to get... Well, that'll probably do for now. I don't know. Let's think of one more. One more potential place that someone could be murdered that could be interesting. School, hospital, park, beach, hotel, parking lot. Supermarket. Oh, what, really? I mean... yeah, it's probably not the first place you would think of someone being killed in, but could be fun. And there's literally no limit to this. We can do, you know, and our imagination is our limit, basically. Okay, you know what might be fun on the farm. All right, there you go. That's a new one. So there you go. We've got a list of places. So the first thing we want to do is load that list of places on enable. So actually, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to put this in a void. I'm going to say load databases. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put this in load databases. And on enable, we're going to say load databases. Because we're going to have a few of these. Right, so to do a string reader, we need a system.io. So we're going to add that in. System.io. And all we're going to do is we're going to go through and load all our stuff. Let me just get the structure for string readers. I can never freaking remember this. While stream reader. We don't use a stream reader in there apparently. Nor there. Okay, let me think about this. Where do we use a stream reader? Engagement uses it for jokes and shit. I know that. Okay. That is the structure we need. There we go. I can never remember this. Okay, so we don't have a stream reader SR, so we basically need to make one. So we need to make a stream reader SR equals new stream reader. Oh no, wait, that's kind of weird actually, because we declare it there. No, it's because it doesn't know what file path is. Okay, we're just going to put it in manually, I guess. Okay. Places, add. I'm just going to call this get data so that I don't need to change it on every single one. Get data. And then at the end of that, we want to do sr.close. I guess we need to do it here then, because that's part of the using. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's make sure that works. Expecting. I don't know, you were pregnant? What are you expecting? You're expecting a semicolon. Why would you be expecting a semicolon, I wonder? What about that would make you expect a semicolon? What? Where? Oh, yeah, there's one. Okay, I missed one there. Okay, right. There we go. So, okay, let's make sure that works. So what we should see a public list appear in our murder mystery script. And it should be called places. And then when we run this now, we should get our loaded list of places to choose from. I didn't want to go in full screen. Too late. There we are. We have 7 places. We've got a school, hospital, park, beach, hotel, parking lot, and farm. Okay. So similarly, where, that was where, right? So we just did where. We just did the first item on our stream title. Then I want a when. Okay, now this one's going to work a bit differently. I'll keep it public for now, but we can private most of these. Time of day, right? So I'm going to say times equals a new list of strings. Now for times, I don't think I need a text file for that, so I'm just going to do it in I'm just going to do it in code because there's only a few that I want to do anyway. Okay. So times.clear, and then I'm just going to say times.add morning. Afternoon, evening, nighttime. I think that's pretty much all I really want. When did the murder take place? And that's going to be the same each time. So I we'll have morning, afternoon, evening, and night. So there are 4 times of day that these murders can take place in, and then as many places as we want to add in there. So let's just run that, make sure we get that. And now we should get... To be fair, we could even just... that might be better, actually. We'll leave it as a public thing and then just enter it in the inspector. It doesn't really matter how we do that. If we're leaving it as public, that might make more sense. You know what? It's fine. We'll just do it like that. Like I said, times of day, because we'll ask the AI to flesh this out, right? We'll say, hey, we want a murder that takes place in a hotel during the nighttime or whatever. And then I'm pretty sure the language model will elaborate and be like, okay, this happened at 8 p.m. and this happened at 9. So we're not getting that deep here. This is just to give the AI some random things to work with, basically. Sure enough, that works. So now we have 7 places we can choose from, 4 random times we can choose from. Now the who's. Now I was thinking about this one, the who's. There are a couple of ways we could go about doing this. So originally what I was going to do with the who's is I was thinking about this, right, and I was like, okay, it would be cool if we, randomly get the AI to create some fictional characters. But the AI has trash memory. This is the problem, right? The AI has trash memory. And so, okay, it could come up with, I don't know, Peter Drawbridge, right, as one of the suspects, right? And then it could say that he's, whatever, Fat 32. What is he, a freaking file system? I don't know. He's a single dad, whatever he's supposed to be, right? But then when we start generating image, so we want a profile image so we can like talk to him and interview him, and then let's say he's the murder victim, right? And then we say, okay, give us a picture of the crime scene. Peter Drawbridge has been killed, right? The odds of the image generator making Peter Drawbridge look the same in his profile picture and in the picture where he's murdered are very, very slim, because as far as the AI is aware, Peter Drawbridge doesn't really mean anything, right? It's just a random thing, and we can experiment with this. I don't actually have it installed right now, but if you experiment with this with something like Midjourney or whatever, you'll see what I mean. But AI is very good at identifying celebrities because it's already been trained on celebrities. So for our first test, at least, so if you wanted to go as far as to train a language like an image model on a list of fictional characters, you could do that in theory, but that is a whole different thing. I think for the purposes of this murder simulator, and I think it would also make it more fun as well, right? If it was a bunch of famous people, right? So if you ask for a picture of Peter Drawbridge laying there bleeding on the ground, right, in a murder mystery scene, and then a picture of Peter Drawbridge's character profile, you're going to get probably two very different looking characters across the two images, because Peter Drawbridge, nobody knows who Peter Drawbridge looks like. But if you make that Joe Rogan, right, if you say Joe Rogan, give me a profile picture of Joe Rogan at the beach, you're probably going to get a pretty believable looking picture of Joe Rogan at the beach, because the AI knows what Joe Rogan looks like. And then if you say, oh, Joe Rogan's the murder victim in this case, so give us a picture of Joe Rogan who's been, braid on the head with a beer bottle and he's lying under the pub table, you're probably going to get a pretty convincing picture from the AI. So in that vein, that's why I've decided I'm probably going to make my people for this murder simulator celebrities for now, at least. Like I say, if you want to avoid getting sued or whatever, I don't think you'd get sued for that, but let's say you have you're worried about that and you wanted fictional characters, then I think you'd have to go as far as to train a language model. You'd have to make a whole bunch of fictional characters. In that case, you may as well not even use AI. You may as well just generate a bunch, tons and tons and tons of fictional characters, and then hard code them into a database. Each character would need, I don't know, they'd need to be fed into a giant database, and then you'd have to pull those images out of it. The problem with that is the replayability value goes right down, right? Because like once, and also like the work goes up. So if you want Britney Spears, that's a good idea actually. If you want Britney Spears as one of your characters, that's not how you spell Britney. If you want Britney Spears as one of your characters, then you need a picture of Britney who's been murdered in every single one of your locations, in every single way that they can be murdered. Do you know what I mean? And so on and so forth. And that gets quite, to be a lot of work. So Phil Collins, Joe Rogan, Will Smith, how do you spell Ed Sheeran? Is that actually Ed Sheeran? I'm actually struggling to think of celebrities right now. God damn it. Why can't I think of anyone? Fox. Elon Musk. Jennifer Lawrence. Hugh Grant. You know, on and on you go. Maybe that's a good idea, actually. Let's just have a look for a bunch of... List of 1,000 celebrities. I don't want profiles, I just want a list. That's why I said list, Google. Because I want a list. I don't want images. Oh yeah, that dude from Breaking Bad. Did I just see him? Yeah, Aaron Paul. He can go in there. Can we not just... Seriously, I just want a list of top 1,000 celebrity Twitter accounts .csv. Katy Perry name. Okay, we need to get this list. Here we go. We need to get this list and isolate the names from it. I probably don't know who some of these people are because there's like Instagram models in there. Whoa. Our murder mystery is going to be very spicy. And like, who the hell is that? Do you know what I mean? Squiggle McSquigglington. I mean, I don't know who Squiggle McSquigglington is. Yeah, this might be a bit overkill now. We've gone from one extreme to the other, haven't we? The Killers, and we've got like bands. The Killers in a murder mystery. That's great. Yes, one of your suspects is the Killers. Let's see. Did you do it? No, we're just a rock band. But why did you call yourselves the Killers? It's just a coincidence, mate. Yeah, that's what a real killer would say. Yeah, I suspect you. That's hilarious. Okay. Jennifer Lopez. It's got two Jennifers. Yeah, I don't know. I can't see this working out for us, to be honest. First of all, I don't. Ellen DeGeneres. Some of these are great, though. Justin Timberlake. Yeah, I mean, again, right, we can flesh this out later. But we want a good... I would think we want at least 30 or 40 names in here. Oh, Christina Ricci. That's not what that is. Christina Ricci, though, she's hot. As she used to be. Christina Ricci. I don't even know if that's how you spell it. I have no idea. Demi Lovato. I recognise that name somewhere. I do recognise that name. Who the hell is that? I recognise the name. Demi Lovato. Oh, holy crap. Wait, where's she from? American singer-songwriter. I recognise the name, but I don't... I've never listened to her in my life. Taylor Swift. Yeah, these are good. Some of these are good. These are just the top most... Well, let's carry on, right? We'll just remove the ones that I think, like the Killers, obviously isn't going to work. Right, let's download this file, okay? Save link has, isn't it? No, this is the problem with frickin' GitHub. Raw, there we go. There's the file in all of its fileness. Okay, but we need to save that. So let's make a new notepad. Right, now we need to save it. And then what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to parse that out. So that's our desktop. I guess we'll use... I don't know. Murder mystery. Right. And then I'll call this import.txt. Okay, we'll call it import.txt. Okay, so let's work with this. So basically we're using a CSV file, which means comma separated values. And the only field we want is this one here, which is field 2. So that's field 0, that's field 1, that's field 2. So all we care about is field 2 from each of these names. Then we're going to stick them in a list. And then what we'll do is we might keep these ones. I don't know if some of these are already in there. I imagine some of them are actually. and then we can work with that. Anyway, let's do that first. So if we go back to Unity, we can go into our script, and we're going to use another stream reader, and we're going to make a temporary list. So we'll make a list of strings, and we'll just temp names for now equals new list of strings. There we go. And then when we read import.text, what we're going to do is we're going to feed that into our list of temp names. There we go. Now, yeah, then we'll just sift through those, I think. So then if we do an int index equals 0, while index is less than temp names dot counts increment index. So we wanted to get the third field, didn't we, which is field 0. So what we do is we say string get data equals temp names at position index. Then we want a string array split data equals get data split using our comma as the delimiter. Why does it always type new in there in this new Visual Studio? I have no idea. Then we want to get the field 2 as the data that we want to keep. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to say file append all text. I'm going to say split. I put split date. Split data position 2, which is the name, the celebrity name, and then I'm going to add a new line to the end of that. And that's it. That's all I want to do. So what that should do is read those names in, get us the second field, third field really, which is the name, and then write it out to a new file. Wait, I didn't say what the file name was. Actually, that's interesting. Why did it not? That should give us an error. That should give us an error, but it didn't. Interesting. So we'll save this in C dump murder mystery, and for now we'll just call this new people.text. Why doesn't it like that? Probably that's not because I spelled it wrong, because it doesn't care about that. Oh, because it's append all text. That's why. There we go. Okay, so let's run that, and we should get a new file. Just give it a quick save in case I did anything wrong, but I think that's fine. We should get a new file appear in here called new people. There it is. Boom. Okay, now we can go through our list of celebrities. So I want to get my, well, let's just add this. Okay, let's just grab this data actually and add it to our people.text. I don't know whether some of these are already in here though. That's the problem. If they are, then they just appear twice. It's fine. We could also write a new script now that checks for duplicates, I guess. Yeah, that's actually probably a good idea. We'll write that in our code. What we'll do is we'll make it so that when we load our list, because yeah, Britney Spears is in there twice now, right? Because she's also one of the top. Some of these probably are actually. Justin Timberlake's in there twice, I can see. Most of these probably are. Jennifer Lopez. Wait, I think Britney Spears was in there 16 times. Didn't I just see her up there as well? Yeah, Britney Spears is in there like 42 times. Has Britney Spears got more than one Twitter or something? Is that why she's in there twice? That's kind of weird. Ariana Grande, yeah, of course, these are Harry Styles. Why is Harry Styles got a dot after his name? I don't know. Okay, so if I don't know who the person is, I'm just going to delete them from the list. I don't actually know who Cristiano Ronaldo is. Is that a football player's daughter or something? That would be my best guess. Probably not. One Direction. We can't have bands. Bruno Mars. Good lord. Emma Watson. Avril Lavigne. Conan O'Brien. Yeah, some of these are great actually. Some of these are great. Coldplay is a band, right? Kind of Coldplay. Chris Brown. I have no idea who that is. I'm going to get rid of them. Blake Shelton. I don't know who that is. Can't even read it. Can we just get rid of it? What is going on? That does not want to... Okay. I know he sang a song with, I think it was Ariana Grande, but I don't give a shit. Just get rid of him. Oh, it writes the other way around, I think. That's why. That's awful. Maroon 5 is a band. We need to get rid of them. How are Maroon 5... like, God. How are they still popular? That's what I don't get. Ashley Tisdale French. That's probably her French Twitter profile or something. That's not her actual name, is it? Let's just get rid of it. I have no idea. Snap Me On Official. It's probably just the name of a Twitter. These are supposed to be people's names. I hate this right to left thing because it destroys me. Usher Raymond. Ivy. I don't know who any of these people are. Ricky Gervais, I know who he is. Laugh my fucking ass off. Yes, one of the murder suspects is called Laugh My Fucking Ass Off. I don't think you're taking this murder seriously. What makes you say that? Cher Lloyd, is that the Cher? Is that a proper? Is that like a name? I have no idea. T Raw. Fucking raw dog and fucking jizz stain and. Yeah, this is getting a bit. It's getting a bit hairy now, isn't it? Oh my god, I hate this text. What language is that? Whatever it is, it's the bane of my life. You press backspace. And that text deletes forwards. It's so confusing. I don't know what language that is, but it can fuck off. J.K. Corden. I come in and hear jizz stain. Good morning, Captain. Ellie Golden. Yes. I need your help with something. Okay. Because I don't know who half these people are. So what I'm doing is I'm loading a list of potential murder suspects. And also one of these people will get murdered in my little murder simulator. And the reason they're all celebrities is because if I ask an image generator to give me a picture of Ed Sheeran, okay, who's been brutally murdered with a bottle of cider under a pub table, it should know what Ed Sheeran looks like. So we should get a convincing picture back off it. And then a profile picture of Ed Sheeran at the beach, for example, or whatever, should be able to manage that as well. But if I say David Drawbridge, because he's like doesn't exist, and I ask for a profile picture of David Drawbridge and then a picture of David Drawbridge murdered by drowning in a pool or something. Oh, that's a good place. Let's add pool to my list of places. Yeah, we haven't got that actually. Oh, that could be kind of hot, right? Britney Spears at the pool. Why is that empty? Oh, that's people. No, I want places. Yeah, let's add the pool. We'll say the pool. There we go. That's one of the players we know. The issue is because this list here that I'm working with is the top Twitter profiles list. Some of them are bands, right? So I've come across like the Killers, which is hilarious in a murder simulator. Yes, yeah. One of your suspects is the Killers. Yes. Did you kill Ed Sheeran? No. Then why did you name your band the Killers? It's just a coincidence, I swear. Yeah, that's what the killer would say. Do you know what I mean? Yes, I'm guessing 5 Seconds of Summer is a band. Okay, let me just show you where I got this from. I don't want you to go through it like every single one. Obviously, you've got better things to do with your life, or I would hope you do. But, I mean, if anything, I don't know. If you think something might catch me out, let me just send you the list. That's where I got the list from. Because I don't know who half these people are. I'm going to go to the toilet real quick. But if you think something might catch me out, I'm removing the weird text ones because I have no idea who they are. Basically, if I don't know who they are, I'm deleting them. I mean, I don't know who that is, to be honest. But because I'm not... Yeah, I just don't know if any of those are bands. John Legend. I'm going to change that to John Lennon because they can be dead, right? In mind, they can be dead. Yeah, we can have. That's a good idea, actually. We could have Bob Marley. Little Mix is a band, right? Let's make that Bob Marley. Of course, my murder simulator can have people who are already dead in them. So let's put some like dead celebrities in there. That'll be good. Then nobody can sue me. So we can have Michael Jackson in there, right? Instead of we don't want T-Raw. Stick Michael Jackson in there instead. Michael Jackson is a murder suspect. I think that's kind of fun. I'm guessing Neo is a band. I have no idea who these people are. Some of them I do. I know who Steve Martin is, and I know who Calvin Harris is. I don't know who that was. I don't really know much celebrities, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to deal with it as we find them. Cheyenne, Pity. I don't know who half of these people are. Easily, I've heard of some of these. Jimmy Kimmel, I know who that is. Hugh Jackman, I've heard of him. I don't know who he is. J.K. Rowling. Academia, I have no idea what that is. Get rid of that. I do need a wee though. Residente. Who the hell are half these people? I have no idea. Lily, Kath, Alham, Squiggle. The Black Eyed Peas, that's a band. We need to get rid of them. Indonesia in Love. I'm guessing that sounds like a porn website. Probably is, because these are the top. Bam Bang Pamkakias, Miranda Lambert, Mach. I know he's Brother Cheese. Squiggle. We can't have that. I don't know who that is. Soldier Boy Tell 'em the fuck off. Super Junior. Tell the fuck off out of my murder mystery game. In Instagram, LL Cool J. I can't imagine anything more terrifying than LL Cool J's Instagram. Tyler Oakley Today. I just... Oh, there's too many. There's too many. Oh, that text. Goes backwards. What is this? What language is that? Urdu or something? Ah! Well, actually, to be fair, I don't know who Alex Sintek is, so we'll get rid of him. Kevin Spacey. Oh, God. Now he just makes me cringe because I know he's just a little rat. But yeah, I guess it could, we could have Kevin Spacey as a murder suspect, I guess. At least know who he is. Sigh. Who the fuck are these people? Debbie Ryan. Who are these weirdos? Kunate. I'm showing my age, aren't I now? It's probably all the people that... I imagine some kid walking at the stream being like, oh, good, you don't know who Kevin Aprilio is. Oh, God, you're so old. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'll be old, that's fine. Nanny. Philip Schofield. Oh my god, I do know him. He was in some hot water recently. Arnold. We can make it Arnold Schwarzenegger. That would be funny. Oh my god, who even are half of these people? These are the most popular Twitter profiles in the world. I don't know who half of them are. Can we just delete? I know who Nelly Furtado is. I wouldn't know what she looks like though, to be honest. Like I know some of these people through music because I've heard their songs, but I have no idea what they look like. The AI could show me a picture of someone else, and I wouldn't have a clue that it was wrong, to be honest. Oh my god, I hate this. Fabulous, I'm guessing, is a band. Don't know who that is. Seth Rogen, oh, I know who he is. Squiggle. Dead Mouse, I kind of know who he is. That could be funny. Dead Mouse stood there in his little fucking mouse hat. His mouse helmet. Interviewing him for a murder. So where were you while all this was going down? Dead Mouse. I don't know, I was high on fucking heroin. Eugenia Suarez. Whoever Eugenia Suarez, she feels the need to have a little crown next to her name. I hate her already. I'll keep her though. We need some detestable characters. The First Lady, as in just the First Lady. The Weeknd is a band. Pearl Jam is a band. The Vamps sounds like a band. Oh my god, I'm going to be here forever. How many is there? Well, there's supposed to be 1,000. Chris Evans. There's 2 Chris Evanses. Because there's a Chris... I know everybody talks about an actor Chris Evans now. But when I grew up, when I was a lad, we had a guy, a gingerhead twat on TV called Chris Evans. It was quite popular. So every time I hear the name Chris Evans now, I think people are talking about him. And I'm like, wow, isn't he fucking long out of the limelight? But I think they're talking about a different one. Oh my god, I need to be done with this list. This is right. If I don't recognize who they are, they're going. I do know the name Amy Schumer. I don't really know who she is. Just get rid of her. Michael Bublé, that could be funny. We'll keep Michael Bublé, I guess. Right, Rebel Wisdom, that's probably a group or something, isn't it? Paula Abdul. We'll keep that. David Spade, I do know that name. Isn't he an actor or something? We'll have Robin Williams, because like I said, we can have dead people, right? Let's go with Robin Williams. Amy Schumer was plus comic, went for C tier American movies for a long time. Yeah, I know the name, but I couldn't point her out in a lineup or anything. Yeah, we can have dead people, so let's go Robin Williams. Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain wouldn't know what the fuck. Interview Kurt Cobain for a murder mystery, he wouldn't have a clue. He'd be like, I don't know, my head was in the fucking toilet. I was high on fucking heroin. I had a dildo up my ass. I don't even know what day of the week it is. Pepe, what, the frog? Yes, let's interview Pepe the frog. Booba, someone's just called Booba. I've got to find this. One of the most popular Twitter profiles is just Booba. Is that what I think it is? I have to see for myself. I'm going to regret this, aren't I? Is that actually just what I think it is? Am I going to regret this? Probably. Do I need to do this off screen? Booba. People. The first thing that comes up. At Booba. No, it's not. I don't think it is. No, it's some dude called Booba. Why would you call yourself Booba? Oh my god. You might as well just say I'm a tit. I'm a complete tit. By the way, so I'll call myself Booba. Yeah, I prefer the other type, to be honest. No, that's actually just some angry looking dude. Trying to look cool by calling himself Tit. %99% chance it is. Oh, well, he probably got his name way before Boo Boo was a nickname for tits. Yeah, probably. Imagine how unfortunate that is. So, listen, Boo Boo. I don't know if you want to think about changing your name. Well, why would I do that? I've had this name for fucking decades. The thing is, the kids on the internet now, they're using that name to describe titties. What? Yep. So essentially, you're now just seen as a giant tit. I refuse to change my name. Ice Cube, Larry King. I think I just need to ditch. All right, the second half of most of these. I think that'd be like being named Auckland, and then that being the next nickname for PC. Well, it's funny actually because, like, I think about that as well because I've got a cousin called Karen, and now everybody uses Karen. Oh, there they are, the killers. Everybody says, "Oh, she's a right Karen," don't they? And I'm like, my poor cousin. It's just a name. She can't help it. Yeah, she's not, and she's not actually like that, which is interesting. Russian name. But yeah, I bet she gets that a lot now. Robbie Williams, is he still on the go? Okay, I like I said, I don't know who half of these people are. I need to be done with this list though, because I'm spending the entire day just on this list. I don't know if Pepe is Pepe the Frog, but I'm getting rid of them. I've heard of Cat Williams. I think he was on Joe Rogan recently. Doesn't necessarily mean I want him in my murder mystery though. Yeah, the problem is it's going to get to the point where I'm getting a bunch of people in my game that I haven't a clue half of them are. Paul McCartney. Denise Richards, I remember her, she was hot. She was weird. She also kind of looked like a beaver. It was weird. Or an otter or something, but she was kind of a hot otter, which is a very strange thing to say, I admit. But she does. It's something about her teeth or something, I think. I'm surprised she's on the list of the most popular Twitter profiles though, because like, when was the last time she was in anything? I wouldn't know modern celebrities. I really wouldn't. The Beatles. I mean, I added John Lennon to this because we can have someone, and also there was a Cher in here, but there's one called Cher, so the other Cher can't be the Cher I'm thinking of. We could have Kevin Smith, but I'm putting a space in his name. Because when we ask the AI for images, it's going to need a name that it recognizes, right? That's why I'm going with celebrities. Boar. I don't know if these people are. Oscar just sounds like an award that movie makers get. Common. I don't want no commoners in my game. I don't know who these people are. I really don't. Dane Cook. How is Dane Cook on the list of the most popular celebrities? He hasn't done any, again. He hasn't done anything for fucking ages. I watched a couple of his specials back in the day, but he hasn't done shit since then. I'll tell you what, the entry bar for celebrityism has really dropped in recent years, I think. I really have no idea who most of these people are. I would say like 90% of these I have no idea who they are. I wish there was a way. I wish there was a way. I wish there was some algorithm I could run this through. I mean, I could. Actually, that is something I did want to do. I wonder if I can do that. I wonder if I can get Cat to Google image search each one of these names one at a time and then display the image to me. And then I can just say, yes, I recognize them, or no, I don't. And then if I say yes, they stay in the list. And if I say no, they don't. But that also sounds like... But I have been thinking about that for a while, because like the other day, right, she gave a random fact about some celebrity, and I was like, it was somebody from Lost. She said something like, oh, I don't know, combobulus disectomy showed up for an audition of Lost, and he was only supposed to be in one episode, but they liked him so much he stayed in the series. And I was like, well, I don't know who combobulus disectomus is, but I do know all the characters from Lost, so I was like, oh, I'm curious who that is. And I thought, well, at that point, if she had the ability to like image search rather than alt tab, I could have been like, oh, give me an image of combobulus disectomus, and she could have just showed me who it was, and straight away I would have known who it was. And for something like this, that would be helpful, because I could just get it to go through this list one at a time and show me who these people are. And then I could be like, yeah, I have no idea who that is. And then we just exclude them from the list. I don't know. I feel like I'm at my depths now, if it's too many. Well, there's over 1,000 in this list. How is Tom Hanks one of the most popular celebrities on Twitter? Emma Watson? Big deal, she was fucking Hermione in Harry Potter. What's she really done since then? Pissed everyone off by being a little virtue signaler. Everybody's sexist. Everybody's damaging the environment. Yeah, you've never lived in the real world. Had a real job. What do you know? Reminds me of, who's that other one? There was a Alicia. Oh god, is she? I wonder if she's in here. But back in the day, Alicia Silverstone used to be hot as fuck. But then I heard her speak a few times in real life. She's definitely fell off. I might add her in here though. Yeah, and she was she was one of them. She was like, everybody. I heard her on Radio 1 or something, which is like one of our British radio things. And she was doing an interview. And I was like, oh, it's Alicia Silverstone. She's hot as fuck. And she started talking. I was like, oh my god, what an absolute lunatic. And she was saying like, I think anybody who eats any meat, because she was like a vegan, and she was like, I think anybody who eats any kind of meat is just an evil person, and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my god, get a grip. Get a grip, woman. What a freak. Yeah, that's who Emma Watson reminds me of, because she's a bit like that. Like she's never worked a real job a day in her life. I'm really struggling with this list now. Daddy Yankee. Who are these people, really? Yeah, I need to get this down to just a list of... I should have just built this list manually, probably. That's why I've always been fine just listening to a musician or something and never looking at their Facebooks. Yeah, well, this was back when I worked for a bank in their warehouse, and it was like their mortgage centre, so we used to get mortgage files and fax them off to the call centres and stuff that were requesting them. So at a certain point, at a certain date, everything got digitised, everything went digital, but anything that was made before that date, they shipped all the files from all the branches into this big central warehouse, and that's where I worked. And they had the radio on all day in there, so it was like, shared shared thing, so I was, it was just on. But yeah, otherwise I wouldn't have bothered. Yeah, when I actually heard her talk and get interviewed, I thought, oh my god, she's such a little bitch. But I had quite a crush on her before then, because she is hot. Or she was. She probably. I mean, she's fell off now. She's not even on this list. I can't even remember what she was in now, but she seemed like at the time she was in everything. But Janet Jackson. I don't know how I'm going to organize this list at all. Imagine Dragons, that's a band. That's a Russian name. I won't have a clue who that is. Can You Not sounds like a band or something. I need to... Oh, God, I kind of regret doing this now. Yeah, I already had Elon Musk on my... First of all, there'll be some dupes in here. Mark Wahlberg, I know he is. There's some good names in here, though, but there's also a lot of names that I just haven't a freaking clue. One Republic. And some of these... I think some of these are like groups as well, right? Because these are just the most popular Twitter profiles, so some of these aren't even people, I don't think. I know there's some bands in here. Some of them might be like organizations and stuff. So it's a bit... David Lynch? I mean, yeah, he's made some good films. I'm just surprised anybody gives a shit about his Twitter profile. Aaron Paul, he's the guy from Breaking Bad. He can stay in here. Denise Richards, I remember her from back in the day. She would have been in all the films with Alicia Silverstone. Same kind of thing. Right, Kurt Cobain, Michael Bublé, Paula Abdul, David Spade, Robin Williams, Vincent Company. I have no idea who this is. No idea. I've heard of Steve Nash, but you know what? If I won't recognise him, just get rid of him. Right, get rid of most of these. I have no idea who they are. Okay, keep going. Dynamo, I do know who he is. That's quite funny. He's the one I brought up the other day, actually. Cat Williams, I know of him, but I don't know him really. I've heard of some of these, I just don't really know who they are. Oh shit, I'm trying to go up here. Right, I don't recognise any of these really. Kendall Schmidt, Lottie Tomlinson. Robbie Williams, I know him, he used to be in Take That. And when he went solo, actually, he made some good songs. I've heard of DJ Khaled, but I couldn't fucking point him out. David. Stephen Smith. Denise Richards. She's the one who looks like a beaver. Bill Nye. Oh, where do I know him from? Bill Nye. I know that name, Bill Nye. Is he a weatherman or something? Mandy Moore. No way. God, that takes me back. Mandy Moore. Wasn't she the one-hit wonder? Mandy Moore. I know that name. Mandy Moore. Who the fuck is Mandy Moore? But I haven't heard that name since the Denise Richards days. Mandy Moore. She was a little pop slut back in the day, I think. American little pop slut. But she's like, how has she got one of the most popular Twitter profiles? Like, I haven't heard of her since she had like one hit back when I was in college or something. And even then, no one gave a shit. I'm just surprised she's on this list is all. And I wouldn't have recognized her. I'm getting rid of her. I just recognize the name. Weird that she's on this list. Paul McCartney, obviously we know who he is. Lauren London, Aaron Paul, he can stay. Okay, so they can stay. Check. Don't know who these are. Bistorm. Felicia Day. I know her. She's a bit of a bitch, actually. Yeah, I do know her from like content creation or whatever. I don't think I want her on this list though, because Jesse, one of the guys I like, Jesse, David Lynch. I know him. He's a movie director. Oh, what do they call him? Jesse something. He used to be with Dodger and Total Biscuit and that. The only reason I know her is because he had the hots for her so badly and he made a fool of himself one time live on stream and it's hilarious. That's the only reason. I know Paul... Wasn't Paul Walker the guy who died who was in Fast Furious or whatever? I don't give a shit. I'm just going to get rid of him. Kendra Wilkinson. Or Gordon Ramsay. That would be funny. He can be in here. Yeah, Gordon Ramsay can be in here. That's funny. Okay, everybody else is gone. Jack Gilling. I don't know who these are. Carlos. Don't know who these are. Trevor Noah I've heard of, but I wouldn't know who they are really. German Pulaski. Fanny Lou. Who are these people? I've heard of Missy Elliott, but she's not staying. Elon Musk, I think, is already on the list. Maybe not. Dr. Dre, obviously we know who he is. I'm also going to look for dupes when I add these. Make sure there's no dupes. I don't know who these people are. Kevin Smith, he's the guy who didn't talk. Silent Bob, Jane Silent Bob, the movie director. Yeah, he can be in here. Chris Evans is probably not the Chris Evans that I know, so he can go. I've heard of Chris Pratt and Shawn Michaels, but again, I wouldn't know who these people really are. Kevin Smith got Turbo Woke. Yeah, I've heard that as well. I haven't really listened to him since he was on Rogan a few years ago. But I know he used to make good films, so he can stay, I guess. Steve Austin, I always hear of him around the Joe Rogan circles, but I don't really know who he is. And Steve Aoki, I've heard of him. But most of these, I haven't a clue. Dr. Drew. David Copperfield. Jerry Seinfeld. I guess they're famous enough to... I know who they are. Oh, well, in that case, we should have Larry David. I don't know if Larry David's in here. But Larry David could be in here, I guess. Dane Cook, again, like, I know who he is, but, like, Jesus Christ, like, he made a couple of specials, like, fucking 20 years ago or whatever the hell. And then he's never done anything since. But recently, I have seen him kind of circulating the internet a little bit, but he's... in Dead Mouse. I don't know. I'm getting rid of these. I'm getting rid of all these. I've heard of Gemma Stiles, but I haven't a clue who she is. Titty Kamal. Titty Camel Toe. Not a suggestive name whatsoever. Titty Camel Toe. It's just a perfectly normal name. Wow. Chris Rock. Oh, I know that name. Isn't he the... Is Chris Rock the guy who got punched by Will Smith? He's definitely staying if it is. Yeah, Chris Rock's the guy who got punched by Will Smith, isn't he? Yeah, I know him. He can stay. Arnold Schwarzenegger can stay, but I added him. I think I added him anyway. Yeah, I think I did. God, this shows how old I am, I think, is that most of these people, I haven't a clue who they are. Imagine, I've never really been big on like celebrities or anything anyway. Usually I only know people if, like, you know, I know of them because they got big in the music industry or they've been in lots of films or something. And I feel like celebrity culture is like shifting over more towards content creation now as well. Green Day is obviously a band. I've heard of them. But again, like, fucking hell, they were making music back when I was in college. Green Day, they were quite popular back then. But does anyone give a fuck about them now, really? How are they on this list? Bill Cosby's on this list. Oh, we've got to have him. Bill Cosby is a murder suspect, of course, because he's a right little fucking... Yeah, because I saw Kevin Spacey on here, and I feel the same way about him, but... Yeah, I suppose for a murder mystery, you kind of want... Yeah, there he is. You kind of want these villainous celebrity types, right? Yeah, I think movie theatre films would be one of those things dead in the water in another 10 years from now. Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it? It looks to be that way. I think it's already dying. It's already... Neil deGrasse Tyson, who the fuck is he? Oh, he's the guy who's always... Yeah, I know him. He's gone really woke as well. the space guy, the physics guy, or whatever. He's funny though. He's like a funny character. So John Cleese, fucking hell. We don't even talk about John Cleese these days. I know he is. I'm not including him though. I don't know. Do I? Well, yeah. He used to be in Fawlty Towers, so we'll have him. That was a funny show back in the day. Other than that, I couldn't give a fuck. Alan Carr. I know he wrote books about quitting smoking. That's the only thing I know about Alan Carr. Everybody was recommending his book. If you want to quit smoking, you want Alan Carr's book. Samuel Jackson. It's like, number one, I don't want to quit smoking. Number two, I don't give a fuck. And number three, I don't read. Demi Moore, she used to be hot back in the day, but does anyone give a fuck? Michelle Obama, that could be funny, I guess. Michelle Obama as a murder suspect. Go on then. Demi Moore and Michelle Obama. You should Mike Tyson back. Oh, did I just delete Mike Tyson? Oh, I didn't mean to. I'm glad you noticed. Yeah, Mike Tyson would be hilarious. As a Ellie Goulding. I know the name. I'll keep her in. Just because she's... Like, I know her name so much, but I've never listened to her music. And I wouldn't recognise her if you showed me a picture of her. But she's so... I feel like she's famous enough to, like... Oh, Serena Williams, I think I know that. Isn't she the brunette? I don't even know where she's from. For some reason I know of her. Again, I think she's just... Oh, Jeremy Clarkson's the idiot from Top Gear. Yeah, we'll have him. Alright, we'll keep Serena Williams and Tom Cruise. I think. I know the name Jimmy Carr, but maybe he's like an American TV host or something. Because J.K. Rowling's funny to have in here as a murder suspect, I think. I think that would be funny. Okay, what else have we got? Rodriguez. Jimmy Kimmel's hilarious. Hugh Jackman. I know the name. Hugh Jackman. Don't know who it is though. I know Jimmy Kimmel. Kris Jenner. That's probably one of the ones that got famous from the Pawn movie, innit? Whatever they call them. Keeping Up with... Isn't that a Kardashian one? I have no idea. Richard Branson. Calvin Harris. Go on then, we'll keep them in. Anybody else? Nicole Polizzi. Robert. Michael Jackson I added. Would be funny. Bob Marley we'll keep. Oh, Cameron Diaz. I watched the film with her the other day. Is she not in here? Okay, let's see. They're getting more famous now, so I think a lot of these could probably stay, but I have no idea who they are. I know Jessica Simpson is, but I'm surprised anybody gives a fuck. Again, she's like from back in the day. Cher Lloyd's not the Cher that's Cher, so I'll get rid of her. David Villa, I have no idea who he is. But John Lennon and Miranda Cosgrove, wasn't she the fucking kid out of the fucking Nickelodeon thing? I can't remember what it's called. But does she do anything now? Like, why does anybody give a fuck? Then again, one of the girls out of that, but I know her because she's been speaking now about Nickelodeon. That's how I know her, and I kind of like, I wouldn't say I've been following her, but for some reason she pops up in a lot of my content creator things. Oh, what do they call her? The other one who started alongside her, she's on this list as well. So maybe that's why Miranda Cosgrove is like kind of up there as well, because they've been speaking out about all this Nickelodeon stuff. I don't know. And of course Ariana Grande was in all that a lot, but she's that makes sense because she went on to be like famous pop star, didn't she? So it makes sense. Right, I don't know any of these. Oh, Jessica Alba. Oh my god, I used to love Jessica Alba. I was obsessed with Jessica Alba at one point. Is she still hot? She's got to be. Oh my god, I love Jessica Alba. I wanted to marry Jessica Alba at one point. It was ridiculous. I don't know why. I just thought she was so beautiful. It was just ridiculous. I was like, oh my god, she has no right to be that beautiful. She is hot though. She's ridiculous. And then she was in Dark Angel, the TV show, and then I think she starred in one film after that as some weird teacher, which was a complete flop, by the way. And then she just completely fell off. Like I've never even heard her name since then. So to see that she's on this list of one of the most popular Twitter profiles is really weird. But it's probably just because she's so fucking hot. That's probably why. Channing Tatum. I've heard of some of these. Right, I need to go up and find Jessie J. I have no idea who these people are. Oh, Victoria Beckham. She's that idiot Spice Girl. But, oh, God, I hate her. She's so annoying. Dwayne Johnson. I know that name. Dwayne Johnson. Who the fuck is Dwayne Johnson? I know that name. Oh, Dwayne Johnson. How do I know? I know Dwayne Johnson. Who the fuck is Dwayne Johnson? Oh, is it him? Oh, yeah, that'll be funny. We'll keep him. We'll keep Dwayne Johnson. I knew the name. Yeah, a lot of these are probably like him, right? You showed me a picture of them. I probably would be like, oh yeah, I know who he is, but I don't recognize them by name. Tom Hanks, obviously. Ricky Gervais. Wasn't he already in there? Some of these I feel like they're dupes now. Kelly Clarkson. I know the name, but was she a singer or something? I'll keep it just because I know her name. Russell Brand. I used to love Russell Brand, but I think he's lost his fucking mind now. Well, he's just Mr. Captain fucking clickbait, you know? Everything's a fucking conspiracy theory, and he's just completely lost the plot. But he was quite funny back in the day. Ricky Martin. Oh my god, really? Could be funny. Ricky Martin and Snoop Dogg, I guess. Where did Jessica Alba go? I can't see her. And like Paris Hilton, she's one of those people who I know because she's been in everything. But I don't. It's like that idiot work. But I don't understand how she got famous in the first place. Like, what the fuck did she even do? Was she in like one film or something? Tyra Banks, she used to be in those films around there. Yeah, these are all from the same era, I feel like. Alright, everybody above this list. Christina Aguilera is still like, who gives a fuck? She was like the failed Britney. Alright, I feel like these are getting famous enough that I should probably just leave them in. I'm sure there's some duplicates in here though. I swear I've seen some of these names. And also I want Thingy back because I can't find her. Okay, who was it? Jessica Alba, that was it. Jessica Alba. I don't think she's... I'll put her under Jessica Simpson. I think I might have accidentally deleted Jessica Alba. And I'm curious, like... She doesn't do anything now, though, does she? I haven't fucking heard of her in ages. But yeah, God, I used to love her so much. Jessica Alba, American actress and businesswoman. So she's stepping down from the Honest Company. That sounds like the biggest scam ever. Oh, please invest in the Honest Company. Yes, we're incredibly honest over here. Hilton's breakout came in 2003 when she starred in The Simple Life on Fox. Yeah, I know that like all the men's magazines at the time were going nuts for her, and she was quite... I suppose she was quite hot and stuff. But I was like, yeah, but who the fuck is she? I was just like, I keep seeing this woman everywhere and everyone's going crazy over her. But like, I don't even know where she's from. Alright, I think that's probably a good enough list for now. Okay, and then we'll check for duplicates. I still do need a wee, but I might as well. Okay. So now we want to do the same thing with people. So this was temp names, not loading in temp names. So we've got a list of people. So we don't need this one anymore. We're going to load people.txt into people. Oh, you know what would be funny is the... What do they call that Pope? Francis. I bet he's not on there. I don't know. Let's find out if he is. He would be great as a murder suspect. Pope Francis. It's because I misspelled people and it almost said Porple or something. And so I was like, I don't know who Pitbull is or Liam. So we'll replace that with Pope Francis. That's funnier. Right, also, as we're adding these people in, I want to make sure... Make sure there's no dupes. So while index is less than people dot count, well, that should be true by default. If get data is the same as people at a position index, then is unique equals false. And then if is unique, then add the person to the list. There we go, that just stops it putting the same person in more than once. Alright, so now when we press play, we should get a list of potential places that murders can take place in, which loads from a list, so we can add and remove us at will. Same thing for people. And places are just like times of days are just hard coded in, but we've got like morning, afternoon, evening, and shit like that. Come on! Oh shit! Infinite loop. I'm an idiot. Oops! I forgot to. Okay, I fucked that up. I forgot to go up index. Rookie mistake that. Shit! I'm gonna have to break out of that now. Okay, and I need a wee cell while that reloads. Where's Unity in this list? Oh, because I'm in startup apps, that's why. Unity editor, end task. Alright, hopefully we didn't lose anything. And I'm going to go for a wee. Freak out! Oh my god. Oh, okay. So, back to systems, wasn't it? No, I went in canvas. Screens. Murder mystery. Alright, let's play it. Make sure that's working. Yeah, but I didn't want it to go in big screen. Okay, so now we have places to choose from. School, hospital, park, beach, hotel, parking lot, farm, the pool. We can add and take those ways we want. And we've got 123 unique people that hopefully should work well with an image generation model, because the image generation model should know who these people are. I don't know why Conan O'Brien's in quotes. He's just trying to stand out, isn't he, the little ginger little shit? Ah! Okay, well, now it's not. Yeah, so the next thing is to, when we make a new game then, so when we want to generate a new game, the first thing I want to do is randomly pick a location, randomly pick a time of day, randomly pick a set number of people involved in the case. So I think... Right, so we can see they're all working. So I'm going to make those private because we don't need to keep an eye on those. So let's turn those into private lists because we can see they're working. Right, and then public, we can have like a number for the minimum number of suspects, right? So let's say 8. Yeah, it needs to be an integer. A number for the maximum number of suspects, let's say 16. Okay, and then after we've loaded the database, we'll do generate game. Okay, so let's do a void generate game. All right, so the first thing we want to do is roll the dice for the locations. So int pick location equals random dot range a number starting at 0 that ends at places dot count. Okay, let me think about this. So public string, we'll say location. Okay, and then we can go store that location in location. So location equals places at pick location. Okay, so we set our location. Then we want to do the same with the time of day. Pick times dot count. Then we'll do a public string time. Yeah, that should be fine. And then we'll do a public list suspects equals new list of string. I don't know if suspects is correct. Basically just the people involved, right? Because I'm probably going to pick, well, there's a few ways we could do this, but what I'll probably do is I'll probably pick one of these suspects to be the victim, right, who gets killed. So obviously it's just victim can't really be a suspect, but I just can't think of a better way of wording it for now, so I'll just call it suspects. So now we want to pick a random between min and max. So our int pick suspects, pick sus, and it wants to be a number that starts at 0. Right, so this is okay. Suspect count first. So we do minimum. We want to roll a number between the minimum suspects and the maximum suspects. And then that's how many suspects we're going to have in the case. And then we want to pick random suspects out of the list. Now, actually, there's a way to shuffle. Okay, there's a way to shuffle a list, actually. ChatGPT should be able to help me with this. And then I can just pick the top people out of the list. That would be the easy way of doing this, I think. In Unity, I'd like to shuffle a list of strings randomly. Can you give me the code for that? Okay, so now we have a function that will randomly shuffle a list for us. We can use that for all kinds of things in this. Okay, so that'll let us shuffle a list. So here we can say shuffle list. And then that wants a list. Okay, so our list is people. And then, okay, we want to add a list. So we want to do int sus index equals 0 while sus index is less than pick sus count increment sus index, and in our list of suspects I'm going to say suspects.add from people at sus index. All right, so hopefully what should happen now when we run it, we should get a random place, a random time, and whatever we've set our minimum and maximum random values to, a random number of suspects of random suspects, if that makes sense. So somewhere between 8 and 16 random suspects, basically. And it should change each time we do it, right? Why is that set to fucking maximum? Okay, so we've got 12 suspects in this one. We've got Salman Khan, sounds fishy to me, Bruno Mars, Tom Hanks, Amir Khan, Justin Bieber, Miranda Cosgrove, Blake Shelton, Ricky Gervais, Neymar Jr., Will Smith, Cristiano Ronaldo, and David Spade. That could be a fun game. At the pool, no less. Oh no! Okay, we made a mistake because it said location the pool, time the pool. So we obviously took that out of the wrong list. So let's fix that. Yeah, we took that out of the wrong list basically. Okay, brilliant. So what I want to do now, let's just run it again, make sure also suspects clear, make sure we clear any lists out. Yeah, so that any new games don't keep the old suspects in the list. Beautiful. Oh, because we said pick a location, pick time. Yeah, still made a mistake. Try that again. All right, brilliant. We got a murder at the hospital during the afternoon with a list of 11 suspects. Ricky Gervais, Ariana Grande, Michelle Obama, Ryan Seacrest, oh, this is a good one, Louise Tomlinson, don't know who that is, Daniel Tosh, Demi Lovato, Chloe, John Lennon, Chris Brown, and David Copperfield. That sounds super fun. Alright, and then if we just refresh that, if we want a new game, we should get, yeah, we got Hotel at Night, and we got 12 suspects this time, and they're all different. Perfect! So what do we do with that? Well, beats me. Now, what we want to do is we want to now generate a list of profiles. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to call this profiles. I'm going to call it sus profiles. So for now, I'm just going to include the victim as, I don't know, I might handle the victim separately. Because if you think about it, what we could do is we shuffle the list anyway, right? So the murder victim could be like the last entry of that shuffled list, right? And then we know we're getting somebody different from all the other suspects. That might be a better way to do it. I might just stick with suspects for now. Yeah, I won't say I won't say suspect profiles. I'll just say profiles because I do want to generate a profile for the victim as well. So let's do that then. So we'll make a victim. So we've got a list of suspects and then public string victim. Okay, and then we will grab victim from the end of that list, I think. So victim equals suspects. No, people at people.count -1. That already knows what we want. There we go. So now our victim is pulled in from that list, and it's the last, whoever ended up in the last position on that list. So it should be different each time. And then yeah, we want to come up with some interesting more variables now, right? So okay, we'll do a public list of strings. I think causes is a good name for this. Like causes of death, right? God, this is getting grim now, isn't it? Okay, so we need to load into our database, and I need to try and, yeah, no, this is part of the database thing. So we're going to do the same thing as we do with people and everything else. This time we're going to use a list called causes.text. And it wants to go into causes. Okay, so let's make a causes list. So let me see. I might just ask ChatGPT actually. Please provide a list of potential causes of death. We can flesh these out more later. For now, we just need something to work with. For a murder mystery game. Stabbing, poisoning, strangulation, blunt force trauma. This is good. Holy shit, we're getting a lot here. Infection. So we got 20 there. Strangulation. And the FBI just got a little ping from this ChatGPT. Alert! Someone's asking for ways to kill people. Alright, they're quite interesting. Okay, so we got stabbing, poisoning, strangulation. Is there any we want to add to that? Just off the top of our heads. Choking, drowning, electrocution, fire-related, e.g. arson. I don't think the EGs we need. Vehicle-related. Pushed from a height, falling. So I'll just say falling for that one. Blunt force trauma we'll just leave as blunt force trauma. Allergic reaction. Infection. Heart attack or stroke induced by stress or poison. That's quite interesting. Strangulation with a garrote or ligature. It's very specific. Drug overdose. Yeah, I think they're pretty good. We don't have like we do have stabbing. I think we should really go crazy though, right? We should have decapitation. Decapitation. Okay, that should be fine. That's 21 causes of death. Right, so let's save that as our causes.txt and make sure those load into the database. And then obviously we can randomly pick a cause of death. Why can't we see our causes? Don't know actually. That should have appeared in the inspector, but it didn't. Let's give it a second. Since it's doing that anywhere, let's go in our game generation. We add a right. We got a victim, public string, cause of death, generate game. We want to shuffle list causes. And then we'll just say cause of death equals causes. Grab the top one. Yeah, to be fair, I'll make this private because we'll know if it's working or not pretty simply, pretty quickly. There's no reason why I shouldn't. All right, we've got one in the school during the morning. The victim was Jerry Seinfeld, who drowned in the school. It's interesting. We've got 11 suspects. Charlie Sheen. Oh, he definitely did it. Kim Kardashian. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jeremy Clarkson, Christina Ricci, Katy Perry. I think any of these could have done it. Phil Collins, Ryan Seacrest, Kevin Spacey, Kaka. I have no idea what that is. And Jessica Simpson. This is great. Excellent. Yeah, this time we've got a stabbing. Pink got stabbed in the farm during the evening. Yeah, all working fantastically. Okay, so now I want to do something exciting because I want to do something I've never done before. And that is, I want to generate profiles for each victim. Based off those random dice rolls that we get. So I'm going. What I want to do mainly is So let's say in that last one, right? We had a murder in the school during the morning. So I want to get a picture of all of the suspects in that setting, right? So I want to tell an image generator, okay, I want a picture of Kevin Spacey in a school, terrifying, and then it'll generate that and then stick it into our game, right? So that we can load that picture when we want to talk to Kevin Spacey, when we want to ask him questions or whatever. It'll show us that image in the correct setting during the correct time of day or whatever, right? So this is the bit I was excited to see if I can get this to work. I think it should work fine, but I've never done it before. I've never done a image generation API through Unity. I mean, it should work the same as most other APIs, but let's have a look. So on OpenAI's website, we need to be they have an image one now. I forget what it's called. Well, I think it's DALL-E, isn't it? DALL-E understands significantly more nuance, allowing you to easily translate your ideas into exceptionally accurate images. Yeah, so we want to use DALL-E because we've already got an account with them and everything, so I'm happy to use theirs. And actually, this is freaking great. If I can get stuff like this would look great. Start. Setting up Python. That's with Python. Sending our first API request. That's for GPT 3.5. models, DALL-E. DALL-E 3 is available through our Images API. It has a separate documentation. Here we go. The Images API provides 3 methods for interacting with images. Creating images from scratch based on a text prompt, DALL-E 3 and DALL-E 2. Creating edited versions of images by having the model replace some areas of a pre-existing image based on new text prompt. Creating variations of an existing image. This guide covers the basics of using these 3 API endpoints with useful code samples. To try DALL-E 3, head to ChatGPT. So really, the first thing we're going to need, so if we go into, this is going to be a system, right, or a service even. So in OpenAI, I'm going to create a new service, an OpenAI service called DALL-E. I'll make a script for it. And then what we'll do is we'll create a system here that allows to accept a prompt from somewhere else within our project. And then once we put the request through, it will obviously receive an image back, and then we can send that image to whatever thing wanted it, right? So in this case, it'll be our murder mystery game. And in that way, if we want images any other way, like let's say we're talking to Cat and we just want to say, hey Cat, give me an image of a cute hedgehog or whatever, it can be like, yeah, okay, and then just use the same functionality that we already have built into our thing. So in scripts, create a new script. DALL-E API, I guess. It hasn't made it yet. Give it a second. DALL-E API. Okay, brilliant. So what I want to start with is a public string, which will be prompt in, I guess. We'll set that to. And then so anything else that wants to talk to this, we'll put the request into prompt in. So when we generate profiles, for example, we're obviously going to go through each celebrity and say, okay, I want Britney Spears at the beach, I want Kevin Spacey at the beach, I want, you know, etc., etc. And we can then queue them. Actually, it might be better to make that a list then. Let's make that let's make it run off a list so it can have a queuing system, because that's always a lot better. Because if it has basically it works like an inbox then, right? So you can say, instead of saying I can only receive 1 request at a time, you could put 100 requests into it and it'll just go through each one and do them one at a time. So it's a better way of doing these things. That's how my speech engine works actually. So we want a public list now of strings, which will be prompt in. It's kind of like an inbox equals a new list of strings. Then we can just go and put all our celebrities in there that got randomly picked. And then this thing will just cycle through each one and process them accordingly. Okay, so now we've got a list of prompts in that we can add to DALL-E. DALL-E will be listening for new prompts coming in, and then we just process them as they come in. Just exactly the same way our speech engine works. Yeah, because our game's going to want like 20 images all at once probably, so then it can just put 20 requests through, wait for those 20 requests to come back, and Bob's your uncle. Okay, so it's important to think about stuff like this now early. The earlier you think of this, the easier it gets later on. So this guide covers the basics of using the 3 API endpoints. Generations. The image generation endpoint allows you to create an original image given a text prompt. When using DALL-E 3, images can have a size of 1024 by 1024, 1024 by 1792, or 1792 by 1024. Well, we want 1792 by 1024 because that's going to upscale the best to our full screen. We might not want to go full screen, but that's pretty close to full screen. Let's see what that looks like in Photoshop. 1792 by 1024, I think, is the one we want to go with. So I'm just going to load Photoshop. I'm going to make a 1920 by 1080 image first. Then I'm going to make one at 1792 by 1024. That's such a weird resolution, but okay. 1792 by 1024. Interesting. I'm going to make this black so we can see how much of the... Then we could easily scale that up to full screen, I think, and it wouldn't look blocky or anything. Or we could just have a border around it like that. So if that's our full screen, you can see that's pretty much a full screen. It's got a little border around it. So that's definitely the one we want to use. The only issue with that is, okay, so you've got to remember we're asking it, it depends, right? So, okay, I guess for environments, this is perfect, right? So if we say, because I'm going to want a picture of the environment as well. So if we say, give us a picture of the beach, right? And it does, you know, whatever. There's the beach. Some clouds. That's perfect, right? It looks like a face now. That's perfect for our picture of the beach. The problem, thinking about it, actually, the problem with using that size for profile pictures is what it's probably going to do is if I say Britney Spears at the beach, if it puts her here, then I don't know that it's there. And I would like, if I was doing this manually, I would then put Britney's profile or whatever and all the UI on this side. Now I could, maybe we'll test. Maybe we can specify we want Britney on the left and then give us some space on the right. Or maybe if we look at these other sizes, it's probably better. Because this is what I think I'll do, right? Is I think it would be better and safer to have our picture of the beach generate in the widescreen, then get it to generate just a square, right? Well, not a square, but something a bit thinner. It gave us one there that's a thinner resolution, didn't it, on the website? 1024 by 24 is square. Here's one, 1024 by 1792. So 1024 by 1792. So let's see what kind of shape that makes. Oh, that's perfect. That might be better, you see, because what I'm thinking for the people is we can take that image. Okay. And because we've got our beach there, we can scale the image that it sends us and put it wherever we want it. So again, if I want to put Britney or whoever here on the left, we've got our beach underneath. Then I know that this space here over the beach is okay for UI, right? So I can like start putting text and various stuff like that. So this way, whatever image it generates for the characters will stay within this box, right? So I think that's how we'll do it. I think we'll use the 1792 by 1024 for places. And we'll do the 1024 by 1792 for people. That way we can control what space is being filled by what, right? Kind of. And then we've got space for UI and stuff. So the first thing our API will want to know is, are we doing people or places, essentially? There's a few ways of doing this. So now we're working with the list. Okay, so what we're going to need to do then is we're going to need to put a bit more control over this. So we've got DALI API. So what we'll do now is we'll create a new script called DALI request. And DALI request is going to be a container for an API request. So what we're going to have in here is a public string of the prompt, and then a at the moment we'll have a public integer and I'll call it the size. And then what we'll do, we'll because we know the API can handle those sizes, right? So what we'll do on ours is we'll make it so that if the size equals 0, it will give us a square image of 1024 by 1024. If this size is set to 1, we'll request a 1024 by 1792. And if we set a size to 2, we can get a 1792 by 1024. There we go. So now what we have is a way to request a size with the prompt. So back in our API, now we're no longer doing a list of strings, we're doing a list of DALI requests. And that will take a list of custom request types from us. And from those we can get that. We can inherit those details, right, like size. And then there may be things like positive prompts and negative prompts, and there's all kinds of weird things that these things accept. So as we discover more stuff that we can do, we can add them into this request type now. And it gives us more control over the requests that we make. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, like model, for example, DALI 3, I think we'll always use that. Prompt is a prompt. Size, well, we just added that. And we can specify a quality of standard or whatever. I don't think I'll want to control that on a request by request basis. The size, however, we do, because like I said, right, if we have the beach on this size and then we put our characters on this size, it allows us to do stuff like this. Or we may decide to stick the character on this side and then put the information. That's probably better, actually. We can experiment with it. So what do we do? How do we get these images? Using in-memory image data. I need some code. I need a request. I need an API request. That's a Python example. Python, Node.js, curl. Okay, so what we want is the curl. The reason we want the curl is because basically Unity does these things as Unity web requests, which is similar to curl. It's basically just a post or a get request. It's just a web request. But by sending this to ChatGPT, we can get ChatGPT to convert this into a web request for us, and it will handle it pretty well. So there's an example of how to make an API request using curl. So now what we can do is we can say please can you convert the following curl request into a Unity coroutine for me. I don't know why I put a capital R, it looks weird like that. And yeah, ChatGPT should be quite happy doing that. Saves us some time. All right, so it's given us it's given us a little script here called image editing. The first thing we want to do is look at our script and see what usings we've got. So we've got collections generic because we're using lists. We need system collections for coroutines, so we'll add that. It looks like we need system IO for file reading and writing, and also Unity networking for the Unity network request. So that makes sense. Okay, then it's given us a nice little coroutine. Just grab that, put it in ours. Okay, it's looking for a string called OpenAI API key, and it's also looking for an API endpoint. So let's go make those variables. We'll put them as private variables. So we want a private string OpenAI. Have to match the case as well. API key, which we'll just do as nothing for now. And we also want a private string API endpoint. Now on start, I have a little function, so I can say OpenAI key equals secrets get OpenAI key, boop, and it'll just get it for me. So that gets set on start, so that's nice. I don't have to worry about that now. We've got our API key ready to go. I fucking love that. I'm so glad I did that. I'm so glad at some of the newest stuff I've learned. It's so fucking useful. All right, so now we've got a coroutine. API endpoints. They've set it here. So this is probably correct actually. They've already set it here in the example script. It's image edits. I don't know why it's image edits though. Aren't we? You know what? I probably sent it the wrong curl request, you know. Yeah, because we... Okay. Shit. Okay, I've messed this up. I think I sent it the curl request for doing something else rather than image generation. Yeah, these are image edits. Because I don't see... Apparently you can generate images in ChatGPT now. Okay, I sent it the wrong example. Okay, that's obviously my fault. Okay, so I'm just going to ask for the same thing. I'm going to start a new chat request so it doesn't get confused. Yeah, I asked for the wrong thing. Using system text. Why system text? Okay. Odd. Okay, yeah, I thought the first thing I noticed was the endpoint was weird. I was like, well, why are we using edits as the endpoint? But that's because I asked for the wrong thing. I wasn't really paying attention. There we go. Yeah, that makes more sense. So we go to API OpenAI.com v1 images generations, and that's where we get our image generations from. Sounds good. OpenAI keys taken care of. Now our coroutine is completely different. I'm probably not going to use the image edits thing. Certainly not yet anywhere. I just want to get some images out of it first. So, generate an image. There we go. Beautiful. Get rid of that one. There we go. Okay, now it's changed the variables just to annoy me. API URL. Open API key, so I'll just change those to what it's expecting, and then in start, there we go. Okay, so now we can test to see if this works. Now here we've got dictionary. Oh, okay, so at the moment you'll see what it's doing in the example. It's hard set the size, so we want the size to be inherited from the request itself, and it's hard set the prompt. So we need to take care of that. So here's what we do. So in a list-based thing like this, what we want to do is we want to say if prompt in dot count is greater than 0, then process request. And that's all we want to do. So now we need to make a process request. So in void process request. I don't know what it is because we haven't made it yet. There's a queue in there. Okay, so now it knows what process request is. So in process request, we want to set some variables that we can add in here. And the first thing we want to do is, so we need to store the request data, but wipe it out of our inbox, right? Because our inbox basically is exactly what it sounds like, right? It's an inbox, right? So it's something that data can come into to get our script to act on it. But once we remove, so basically what we want to do is the first thing we do here is actually remove the request from the inbox, because we're now saying, look, we're dealing with this now. We don't want to deal with it again. So we need somewhere temporary to store that from. So what we can do is we can make a private daily request, which I'll say current request. We just declare that at the top of the script, and then what we can do is we can say current request equals prompts in at position 0. It already knows what we want. So what we do is we basically we copy the prompt that we currently are dealing with into current request, so we can use current request as our reference. Then we can say our prompt in remove at, because we're always going to take the top thing out of the inbox. Remove at, if I can find it, there it is, 0. Basically meaning get rid of that request out of the inbox now. That way we don't accidentally process it again. So we take it out of the inbox, stick it into temporary memory. Then our generate image is going to read it from temporary memory in here. So we already had size, right? So 1024 by 1024. So it looks like it's actually looking for a string. Okay, that's fine. So what we can do, there's a few ways we can go about doing this. I think I would rather store that. Okay, let's store that as a size, and then we need to know what strings it's expecting. So it looks like we give it the width and then a small x and then a height. So that'll just make things easier rather than repeat ourselves. So in this example that it's given us 1024 by 1024. But remember, from the API told us that it will only accept 3 sizes, right? So we need to be aware of this. So this is a little bit awkward. There they are. Okay. This is a little bit awkward because it means that every time we set up a request, we need to make sure we get this part right. Otherwise it won't work. But that's fine. We're documenting it as we're going along. There are things we could do. We could make a size class now and then basically inherit from a size class, but I think that's a little overkill for now. I'm just going to put it in as a string. I'll make sure it's all working first anyway. So 1024 by 1792 is our other option, and 1792 by 1024 is our other option. So I'm putting these in a comment so that we can refer to them if we need to. So now what we need to do is when we put a request through, we need to make sure we include one of these strings so it knows what the size is. And then the nice thing about that is now we can just say current request the size instead of that hard-coded size, and it will inherit it from that. Same goes for this. This is our prompt, right? Our prompt should be, wait a minute, is that including the double quotes, I wonder? Request body add. No, it's not. Okay, so this, if this doesn't work, then it's ChatGPT's mistake, because it hasn't put actual quotes. It hasn't escape sequenced double quotes in there, because normally these APIs want double quotes in them, that's all. And because strings use double quotes to begin and end a string, you have to escape sequence double quotes to get them into the actual double quoted string. It sounds more complicated than it is, but it's basically just forcing double quotes into a string that already has double quotes and making sure they get written out. But it hasn't done that, so I assume that it doesn't need it, but that seems odd to me. But okay, we'll assume it knows what it's doing. We're about to find out. Okay, so we've got our Open API key. That's going to go through to the request. We now have a size, and we now have a prompt. And I think that should be it. So all we need to do is start coroutine generate image from here. I don't know what it's doing with the image though. Okay, in our request, we need somewhere to send the image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a public. We need Unity Engine UI for this. Okay, what we need is a public texture, which I'm going to call send to. So what this means now is when we make a request, we can tell it what the image prompt is, we can tell it what size we want, and then we're also telling it which game object we want to send that image to. So in our murder mystery, we can say, okay, we've made a new profile image here for our first suspect. I want you to send this image of this suspect to the first suspect's image component. And then we'll have something we can look at. At the moment, the API request doesn't do that. It basically just does a basic Unity web request and then downloads the response as a response header. So now we can flesh this out and say, well, okay, actually we will have, so let's go back to the API. We've now got somewhere where we want to send that image to, and we want it to show us how to convert that. Basically, we have to take the bytes data, process it as an image, encode it as an image, and then send that image out as an actual image, which it doesn't do yet. So yeah, weird that it's try. Okay, so that's the response text, right? Well, let's make it clear. Output texture. Let's call it output texture. Let's clear up what it is. There we go. Equals get texture. Should actually be a texture 2D as well, because in Unity a texture is actually used for 3D game objects and stuff. So it has like wraparounds and stuff. So if we declare it as texture 2D, that's going to be a 2D UI texture, which is actually what we want. I almost forgot that. So yeah, we will need to make sure it's a 2D texture that we're processing. Otherwise, it'll be a wraparound 3D game object texture that it will do. Okay, so now we can send this so it can see what we're doing. Okay, thank you. I now need a way to process the data into a texture 2D and send it back to the request output texture. Can you give me the code? All right. So back to ChatGPT. Certainly, here's how you can modify the code. Beautiful. Yeah, there we go. So we make a byte array, and then we convert it into bytes. Then we create a new texture. And then we pass it to that texture output. I am getting very excited now because we're almost there. Beautiful. Sort of. Let me think about this though. Let me think about this. Okay, let me think about this. We still need a way for the texture. So the texture is now stored in the request texture, right? Which is essentially just reserved memory. The problem is the request sender needs a way to know when that texture is being filled so it can then go and apply it to a game object. But that would be kind of a pain to do. So what might be easier actually is if we just declare a raw image component on here. I call it texture out. It would be better to do it from the API request itself because we've already generated the texture and stored it in the request's texture memory buffers essentially. But the sender of the object, right, shouldn't give a shit about when that comes back because it already made its request. So if the API, after sending that texture, right, if the API just sets the component up now, which is texture out, to say dot texture equals generated texture. Well, we could do it either way. We could use generated texture, or we could even use its own texture request. That makes more sense because then we don't have to listen for it coming back because this thing will just push it out regardless. It just means that in the request we need to make sure we define exactly where we want that texture to go out to. Right, so we can test this now. So, how do we test this? Well, easiest way is to let's make an output for this image. So I'm going to add a raw image. There it is. Add a raw image to our screen, our murder mystery profile screen. So this could in fact be, well, first we wanted to do probably the first thing. The first request is going to be the beach, right, or wherever the fucking location is. So let's see how this goes. Because now we can experiment with some like styles and stuff, you know, without prompts and stuff. Right, so for now I'm just going to stick it here, right? Okay. And then what we need is we need a request type, right? So if we make a request type, which is a DALL-E request, so we can put it in here, right, and experiment. So for now, I will put beach during the day, right? And we want the landscape one, which was 1792. We can just grab this text here actually. 1792 by 1024. Our output texture will actually come back to us. So in order to boop, we want to send it to there. Actually, we'll just leave that for now. I don't give a shit. So now all we need to do is we need to send this object, right, to our request queue. So if we go into DALL-E, we've got a prompt in here. Send this to the request queue and then hit play. And if all is working, we should get that image back. Let's give it a quick save. All right, moment of truth. First time doing this. Let's see if this works. Okay, we got a bad request. I think it's because we're not putting double quotes in. Okay, let's see what the body comes back with. Yeah, I'm surprised the body's empty. Okay, let's spank ChatGPT because it's fucked something up. I get a 400 error and the JSON body shows up almost blank. But it says, apologies for the oversight. I don't think this is going to work. You know why? I think because we want to use JSON. Newtonsoft. Because it just works so much better. We'll give it one last chance. Image generation request. Okay. Let me try it. It's getting a bit chilly in here. I'm going to put my top on. Not that I'm sat here topless, but I've just got a t-shirt on. I ain't got my big man flabs out. Okay, we got something out this time, but we didn't get an image. We also didn't get any errors. Okay, it says failed. Okay, we got a response back. Image on a sunlit day on a beach. The sun rays are creating sparkles on the crystal clear sea. The fine white sand is warm and inviting with traces of footprints. On one side, there's a colourful volleyball net with a yellow and red striped ball nearby. But then it says failed to load generated image into texture 2D. Line 84. Okay. Okay. Okay, I got a response back, but also error. It looks like you successfully received a response from the server, which includes a revised prompt and a URL pointing to the generated image. However, the error failed to load generated image data into texture 2D indicates that there was an issue loading the image data into a texture 2D. You don't say! Is that what that meant? To address the issue, you should download the image from the URL provided in the response and load it into the texture 2D. Here's how you can do it. Okay. This is under else. Else. It's got to be that else. Where does it end? I see where it ends. It ends there. Boop. Alright, let's give where image generation response. Yeah, what is an image generation response type? Make sure to replace image generation response with a class or struct representing the JSON response structure. Well, we did request, didn't we? Can we not just use that one? Can you give me the structure, I'm not sure if it is different from the request version. Certainly. Okay. It's doing this in a rather odd way, but as long as it works, I'm not too concerned. Alright, let's see if that works. We are getting further, right? We got the response back this time. We just didn't get an image back. But the response included a URL to the image that it generated for us, which is nice. So that shows that they store them on the server so you can just grab them whenever, which is quite nice. Mm. 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 That takes a while. That is slow as fuck though. That is quite slow. That takes quite a while, doesn't it? We never got the image showing up. You know why though? The bastards... Oh, you fucking twat faces. The bastards didn't set our output. Current request texture out equals... Okay, that's... texture. There you go. They deleted my extra bit. Mind you, they might not have known about that because I don't know whether I sent it. I don't know why I'm saying they, like they're a freaking person. Right, let's see if that works. Yeah, that takes a while though, that is a lot slower than I thought it would be. Because Midjourney in I messed with Midjourney for a bit in Discord. Midjourney's like fast as fuck. This thing is really slow. Morning, you alright? Oh, there we go. It worked. Yay, we got it.
What?
I'm just speaking the stream. Got my thing working.
They're all the soda streams are all Sainsbury's now.
Are they Pepsi?
Eh?
Pepsi?
No, I meant the gas bottles.
Oh. Well, they've got gas bottles in stock, you mean?
No, I had one Asda one.
Oh, right. Well, I didn't know what you meant.
Well, I went to
right.
Asda.
You've never
had
all
any
from
in.
Sainsbury's, right.
So I thought I'll just be cheeky and try it over there. Anyway, I took it.
Yeah. No,
so
I thought it was.
Sainsbury's now, so
Oh, that's
you don't
good.
have to mark them out.
Makes life easy.
Well, the bloody machine wasn't working all there again. Wasn't working yesterday, it wasn't working today, the ATM.
Alright.
You got Oxbridge for money for the dog trimmer and that, you know.
God.
It's really nuisance, yeah.
Right, so we've obviously reached a point of success. This seems like a good place to take a break. I want to go get some breakfast actually. So, yep, it's all working. We can do... It's slower than I thought it would be though. But maybe the other ones will be faster, I don't know. I suppose it doesn't really matter, you know what I mean? We can just sit there and let her generate all this stuff. And if it takes a few minutes to generate a little game for us to play, I think that's fine. But yeah, that does... I'm just surprised by how long that takes, right? Because I expected it to be much quicker than that. But yeah, look, we got our first generated image from it. I'm quite pleased with that. So let me just test it one more time just by changing this. So we got beach during the day. That looked pretty nice actually. So let's say hotel at night where a murder has taken place. Alright, and then we just run it again. Same size. Let's run it in maximized mode. There we go. And then it does take a little while. Yeah, it takes longer than I thought it would. I mean, my stable diffusion when I run it locally probably takes about the same amount of time. Imagine these images are much bigger than my stable diffusion one. But still, like, I thought their servers would be a lot quicker than that. Oh, there we go. Hey, hey! There we go. There's our hotel where a murder has taken place at night. That is, I think that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. So Cat can now generate AI images. Terrifying. She gets more and more powerful every day. I'm curious, if I run it a second time, do I get a different image or do I just get the same image again? Oh, we got a different image this time. This is going to be so cool. I think this is going to be really, really cool. Yeah, because the thing is, right, it's all about being clever about the way we do this as well, right? So what I can do is I could go and get her to generate the place, right? And then she can be giving like a brief introduction. So we can go and get like a description of what happened. So this, because you've got to remember at this point, we've already established the time of day, who the victim is, blah, blah, blah. So at this point, she could be like saying, okay, let's, you know what I mean? A murder has taken place, blah, blah, and she can be sort of giving us the overview of what's happened, right? So then we're not just staring at a white thing and then we wait for the image to come back and then we can show the image on the screen. So we can do something clever where we wait for that image to come back before we actually show it on the screen, so we're not staring at it. This is just basic testing at the moment though, but yeah, it seems to be working great. I'm really pleased with that. Yeah, and so while we're waiting for that image to generate and come back from the servers, she can be giving us a brief introduction of what's happened. You know what I mean? A murder has taken place, in this case, in the parking lot in the afternoon. The victim was John Lennon. Vehicle related. He's been ran over by a car. It's too realistic. It's too real. Right? And then we by that point, we probably get the picture of the crime scene, right? The picture of the established location, and then she can be going and getting all these. So it's about just kind of like, you know, keeping us entertained while she goes and gets all these images, which you can do with a text to speech, right? And play some murder music in the background or whatever. Yeah, let's do one last thing before I go and get some breakfast and stuff. Yeah, so that's working great. So she's now got the image generation all lined up. That's brilliant. It does take longer than I thought it would, but again, I think by the time she's finished giving us like an overview of what's happened, you know, I don't think we'll be waiting long for anything to show up. Should be fine. Please don't go, Nike. They can't keep doing this. Goddess of Victory. What is this? Somebody angry at Nike. Are you upset at Nike? What's wrong? What's wrong, little
This
bro?
will be your first and final warning that there will be a lot of women with a lot of assets. Do what you want with that information. It's just a warning.
Trigger warning of... Is that a boober trigger warning right there? I don't know what that is. Yeah, so what I'm thinking is like, well, we can have a little shuffled playlist, right? But this should be great, right? I'm really hyped for this, actually. Murder mystery music background. Grab some stuff like this, right? What's this like? Ooh. And you know, just imagine Kat's gonna be, at this point, Kat's gonna be like, welcome. A new murder has occurred in the parking lot. Yeah, so what I'll do, I'll grab that and we'll attach it to our murder mystery. So we want an audio source here. I will eventually get a bunch of these, I think, and then have it shuffle some music for us, right? So we can have like different murder mystery sound, like music pieces. We'll get a random one of those each time we play as well. But yeah, I think this could work. I think this could definitely work. And given that I didn't really have to, you know, change the prompts too much, those were just very basic prompts. I didn't have to get too specific, and I got some really nice things back off it. Yeah, I think this is going to work really well. I think this will be quite nice. I told you this thing gets updated every 10 minutes, doesn't it? So in sound we have a folder for maze. I'm going to create a folder for murder. And we can put our murder sound effects and musics in that folder. So first let's just get this one. Yeah, that seems fine. Seems fine. Alright, so there's our first, for now, just a test piece of music. Sound. Murder. And I'll just call it music 1. And you can see the idea here is just to build some collections of pieces of music that we can have playing, shuffling and whatnot while we play. For now, I'm just going to stick that in to loop. Music 1, loop it I just probably need to turn the volume right down, I would think. Alright, let's see what that's like.
I'm ready, meow.
There we go. Yeah, the only other issue that I can see already is this fact that these images will show over the top of 3D generated images. So maybe we want to experiment with sprites. Because with a sprite we can send it back behind the characters, you see, behind our characters. But I think I will want both, so here's the other thing. Because that takes so long, although I think the main thing that takes time, you know, is just the response. Because if you look in the console, how long it takes DALL-E to come back, it does take a little while to then get that data and put it into Unity. But I feel like the longer part of the equation is the DALL-E response part. So I'm just going to set to ChatGPT. This works great. However, sometimes I may want to use a sprite so my 3D characters can render on top of it. Can you show me how to get the response data into a sprite? Object 2, please. Okay, so let's think about this. In our DALL-E request, we have an output texture and a texture out. So now we need a sprite, output sprite, and a, oh, let me think, what loads sprites? It's literally only sprites, isn't it? I don't use sprites very often because they're a pain in the ass. Let me just turn off. I put it in profiles, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, we have a sprite renderer, so that's probably what's, yeah, that's probably what's going to use the sprite then, isn't it? So we want a sprite renderer as sprite out. Okay, so now in our request type, we can set whether we want to use sprite mode or texture mode. Hopefully I have a sprite that's called white. No. Okay, let's go make one. Do I have a texture of white? Normally I do this because it's very helpful. I've not got a plain white texture. That's unlike me. Okay, let's go make that now then. So I always find it really useful just to make like a 100 by 100 white texture. Save it as white because this will come in very useful. And then back in our project, I don't know why it's not showing me the projects there. I like to call a texture white. And then from that we can make a sprite. So we could do white texture. If we duplicate that, I'm going to do white sprite. So then in the sprite we want that to be a sprite 2D. And then in here I can set that. Doesn't like that for some reason. Where? Why not? Sprite 2D in UI though, right? It's probably because I had it set to multi. Okay, let me try that. Yeah, there it is. White sprite. Now, interestingly, it lets me use, wait, it lets me use a texture as well. But I'm not seeing either of those, which is weird. Oh, no, that's because I'm on raw image. That's why. Okay, let me just collapse that. Do sprites not work the same then? You can just have a... Because when a... That's the thing I find kind of odd, right? Is when... Because a raw image can also load a sprite, it looks like. And when I set it, but when I set it as a sprite, which it can, but then when I set it as a sprite, it still renders over the top anywhere. Weird. Okay, turn that off for now. So why don't we see the white sprite? It's saying it's there, but we can't see it. Well, that's bloody annoying. Draw mode, simple, mask intersection, sorting layer, default, order in layer, rendering layer mask, everything, nothing, everything. Why can't we see sprites? I hate sprites. This is why I never use sprites, but I kind of have to for this. They're incredibly annoying. Okay, I think it's because it's so small we can't fucking see it. I think that's why. I think that is why. That's really annoying. Okay, yeah, now we can see it, but not in the canvas. Oh my god, this is so annoying. Why can't we see it? I don't fucking know why. It's not because... I wonder if it's because of the camera, because the camera has a background image on it. I bet it is, you know. That'll be main cameras all on it. I bet if I make... This won't help me at all, though. Although I guess we could dynamically, if whenever you... Okay, I suppose is that what we need to do? Let me think about this. I bet if we set background color to none. No, it doesn't. It still doesn't show. Like, it shows up there. But that's not the canvas. That's in the 3D world. God damn it, this is annoying. Ooh, that's got me thinking, though. Good lord, this is annoying. Okay, let me think about this. So if it shows up in the 3D world, doesn't that mean... So it would no longer be part of the canvas component then. Do sprites not render as part of the canvas? I thought they did. I thought the only difference was the draw order. Maybe that's wrong. Okay, let's go get Captain Corbium. Let's get his world transform and give it to the profile. Do we see it then? Where's our camera? You're annoying. fuck is even happening anymore? That would be a giant no. I hate sprites anyway, but I'm starting to figure some stuff out here though. I think, can we put a raw, okay, so we can show up, we can make a raw image show up in camera space. So then can we push a raw image back behind the characters? Because if we can do that, then we just set up a fake screen behind them, and then we can project our images onto that, and that will work even better. Because then if we only need raw images, we just deal with one image type, which is the texture type. So I'm going to make a big ass screen. I'm going to try setting that to global. Fucking hell, Matt. You are rather annoying, aren't you? How the fuck does this work then? Or is that being picked up by the canvas? I think that maybe that's being picked up by the canvas. Okay, yeah, no, I think I know what to do. Okay, there is another way of doing this. And that would be to use a 3D plane. I'm going to delete this because I've made a right fucking mess of it. Okay. UI. Oh wait, can an image show sprites? Ah, yes, I remember now. Okay, this is going to be a much easier way of doing it. Yeah, then we get it as a plain white. Okay, we're okay now. This would be a much better way of doing it. However, I was sure we could put, no, it's still doing the same thing though. I was sure we could draw, I'm sure we can draw sprites underneath characters. How the fuck do you get this to work? Is it because it's in the it's not because of the layer UI. That's now set to a sprite. How the fuck do you get this to work? You go so far back and it goes outside of. That's the weird thing, right? If that's going outside of camera draw distance, which it looks like it is, and Copium's set in front of camera draw distance, then in terms of distance, that should be technically behind him, but it's still appearing on top of him. This still confuses me. Let's have a look. There's got to be something on this. The other way to do this is to set it up as a plane in the 3D space. I'd much rather use a canvas though. Okay, I think it's this, because that's set as screen space overlay. I don't know what the render camera is. World space. What a pain in the arse wipe. What an absolute pain in the arse wipe this is. Okay, let me think about this. I'm going to figure this out once and for all. The problem is this one, render camera. Normally I use this, but because I'm using Cinemachine virtual cameras, it doesn't identify the camera as a camera. So I don't think it's compatible with the Cinemachine camera system. God, this is a pain in the balls. So what if we set... Yeah, no, there's just no way to do it. Oh, hang on, here we go. Main camera. Okay, so then can we... There we go. Screen space camera, main camera. Plane distance. Doesn't seem to have anything to do with that. Resize enabled or sorting layer. Default or add sorting layer. Layers. Would it want to be underneath character, or would it want to be on top of camera? Test. Oh my god, I know there's a way of doing this, but Jesus, it's a pain in the ass. Okay. Order in layer. That's not it. Sorting layer. I said add a sorting layer, but it doesn't. UI should be under character anyway, though. This... How the fuck do you do this? I've always fucking hated this thing. It's so bad. How the fuck do you do this? This is really irritating. Oh wait, I think I left it on this one, didn't I? Okay, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Okay. I left that one turned on, so I'm like, why doesn't this change anything? Okay, right, now we might actually be able to get somewhere. Okay, yeah, I am an idiot. Okay, so I can render a sprite onto an image, which makes my life so much easier because sprites are a pain in the ass. So if I pick white sprite, right, This canvas is a screen space camera render mode. And we picked main camera. What is fucking happening right now? Where is that image? Where is the image? Where? Where is it? Where is the image though? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Where the fuck is the actual image? I don't even see an image on here. White sprite. Can we see the image as an image? Good lord, this is annoying. Fuck my life. How? Where is the actual image? I fucking hate Unity's canvas system. It's such a pain in the ass. Now it's saying I can't even move the fucking image. Why can't I move the image? Jesus Christ, can we please just get a fucking image on here? Why is this such a pain in the ass? UI image. It puts an object there. It says non-sprite. We can't move it. We can't see anything? What the fuck is even happening? This is so irritating. Why is it like this? This does not work. This is fucking stupid. This is literally the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Why is it impossible to use this fucking thing? Oh my god, why is Unity's canvas system like this? This is actually unusable. What the fuck am I supposed to be doing right now? Like, and then I can't even, like, what is that? Is that my image? No, that's just some controls. Why is everything in the corner like that? What is even happening? Jesus Christ almighty. Right, it looks like the canvas is exactly where the camera is. World space. So can I move it? Right, I can move the canvas. Why can't I see the image anywhere at all? Apparently there is an image right there. Could have fooled me. No, there isn't. Good lord, their fucking systems are so garbage. Fuck this. It's not worth it. It really isn't. I'm just going to set something on world space. This is too much bullshit. I can't believe how much bullshit this is. Fuck my life. Why is it like this? All I'm trying to do is render a fucking image underneath the characters. It should not be this difficult. Right, whatever. I'm going to attach. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach a plane. I should have just done this to begin with, but like, fucking hell. I thought surely's got to be a way because they have all these different canvases. And I know I have managed to get it work before, but it's always a pain in the ass. It's just not fucking worth it. 3D object, plane. Right, this plane is in world space because this is the easiest way to do it. So I'm going to face it that way. So we're looking at the back of it right now, I think. Our camera's pointing that way. So as I move this plane, there we go. Now we can have a canvas, sort of a fake canvas as it were. Now I want to line this up with the camera. So that one says it's got a rotation of negative 100. It probably wants to be negative 90 then, does it? Yeah. It's kind of shiny, which looks weird, but I want to push it back as far as it'll go. There we go. The problem with this is I think Cat's going to appear. Let me just run that right now. I think Cat's further back than that. That's why she's invisible. So now this is going to interfere with my cat appearing and disappearing, which is another issue I'm going to have to deal with.
I'm ready, meow.
Yeah. So basically, I could certainly put an image on here, which is fine. But because Cat's behind this screen, because that's how I make her appear and disappear using like camera tricks basically. That creates a whole new problem because I can't have Cat appear and disappear and then show this image at the same time. Yeah, so if you look at the end of this funnel, where the end of this funnel is, that's as far as the camera's allowed to see, because I set it up that way. So if my screen stays where it is, where I can actually see it, so behind Captain Copium, but in front of Cat, then Cat's always going to be covered by the screen whenever I want to show the screen, which I don't want. I mean, the only thing I can do, I suppose, then is whenever I'm in murder mystery mode, I'm going to have to increase the focal plane of the camera, and then Cat's no longer going to be able to appear and disappear at will. But that means I can never play the murder mystery. How am I going to do this? That in itself is no good because it means I can never play the murder mystery and then have Cat like appear and disappear the way that she does. Unless I like use other methods of making her appear and disappear, but now it's just getting to be such a pain in the ass. So I cannot use the camera. I cannot use the world space methods because it's just going to ruin Cat's hidey systems basically. So I don't know how I'm going to do this. This is a real problem actually. So our options are screen space overlay, screen space camera, and world space. We can't use world space because of the camera distance viewing things. So the only one I think could possibly work at all would be screen space camera. So now we have a new canvas and it has that image on it. Right, and it's apparently set to render into the camera, and we have a plane distance, which I'm guessing has something to do with the position in respect of the camera. But no matter where I put this fucking thing, I don't see the image on. Oh, hang on, there it is, I found it. Okay. Okay. Right, I found a position where it shows up. I think it's going to have the same situation though, innit? Yeah, I think it's acting like world space. Oh no, wait, we can put the image behind. Ooh. I don't know if that's behind cat though. Yeah, it's got the same problem that world space has, in that the camera's draw distance determines whether we can see it or not, because it's basically using the normal 3D render camera system to display it. Oh, this is so annoying. Because cats, I can use other methods of making cat disappear, I guess. So I could put this behind cat. When cat's on the screen, it's not really a problem. Right, because, okay, so let's say this is our image here. That seems to be the... Yeah, that seems to be about the size of the screen that we see. Close enough. Maybe not. That's weird. Why the fuck does the view distance change when we change the size of the screen? That's fucking strange. Oh, there we go. That's why. Okay. There we go. It's fine. I can do a workaround. What I'm going to need to do then is teleport Cat out of the scene during the murder mystery, because I can't rely on the usual draw distance systems to do what they do, because we have to have this physical canvas rendering images and stuff at that distance that it's at now. So murder mystery needs to do a few things. When murder mystery is open, it needs to have a separate way of handling Cat's appearances and disappearances, overriding the original system, and it also needs to override the original draw distances of the cameras as well, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, but I don't think there's any other way to do it. It's just because of the way I've set all this up, really. But the good news is I actually don't need this now, and I don't need this, and I don't even need that new code that ChatGPT just wrote for me. I can do it all as textures, and we can test that now. So I'm going to call this one canvas behind. And this one is canvas overlay. And then when we turn canvas overlay on, I need to delete that image. And then in our request now, we basically just tell it to put the image here. There we go. And then when we do our request, let's try something different. Pig farm in the evening where a murder has taken place. Let's give that a quick save. Good news is Captain found a new way to drive himself mad. Nah, it's fine. Yeah, it's just because all the little tricks that I've used for her so far, this new putting an image in the background like that is breaks that system. That should work. There you go, it just responded. Yeah, but now I can put images behind our characters, which I think I'm going to need for the murder mystery, right? And it's nice because it means I'll be able to use it in other parts of it as well. Are we not getting the image? Why aren't we getting the image? Yeah, we never received the texture back. Wait, why is that not working? That is that, right? Yeah. Okay, for some reason we never got the texture out of that. I'm going to try running it again. I can't understand why that didn't work though, because we got a response back.
I'm ready, meow.
Right, we got a response back from Dali. We got our URL here. Why did that stop working? No, it was working fine a second ago. Maybe not a second ago, whenever it was. Why did that not work? Oh no, it was working fine. Oh dear. Okay, something's gone wrong, obviously. Let me see if I can figure out what the hell that is. No, that was one because that was the last thing I added in. Because that was when, yeah, that was when I added the... No, this was working. Let me try a different prompt, maybe. And that should be texture. I don't get it. That was working fine. But we're not getting the texture out. Farm in the evening where a murder has taken place. Okay, let's try it again. Oh, come on. We're close now. It was working fine though last time. I haven't changed any of the codes, so I don't really know why it stopped working. Unless the only thing I can think, no, because we got a response back. So it's not like I ran out of OpenAI credit or anything, because if I had, it would have like failed or whatever. There we go. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So now we get, okay, that's much better. Look at how much better that is. So now our murder mystery can show our location. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, yeah, we just need to do some like fixes. Yeah, I think she does look better with the new lighting actually. She looks a bit more natural, I guess, or something. I don't know what she looks like, but she looks a bit more. Her hair kind of clips through her now and again, but I might be able to fix that at some point. Cool. So okay, we got our things working. I think I need a break from this though. Yeah. Okay. I think that's a good start though. So the next step, now we know that's working. It's very slow though, isn't it? So I think the trick is to have her give us the background on the murder, right? While she's busy, you know, creating the artwork for the mystery, so that we're not just sat there staring at a blank screen for like fucking 6 minutes or whatever, because that would be really bad. So yeah, I think that's going to be a bit of a challenge, but it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, I think this could really work. I really do. I think this could work. And we got a new system. We've got now we have a DALL-E image generation built into CatGPT, so we can use that for anything we want to generate AI images for. It is, like I said, it is slower than I expected it to be, interestingly. Never really expected it to take that long. I thought it would be much quicker than that. That might get better and improve over time. I guess we don't need to echo that back. Yeah, and by default, we obviously want that canvas off. We just use that for special circumstances when we wanna load images behind the characters. And at the moment, the only thing I would want to use that for is the murder mystery. But who knows what I'll want in the future. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think... And then she could use some of this, right? So when it comes back with a response, right? So I think this could be quite cool. So she could say, a murder has taken place in, and then she could say, an aged, all this shit, because this is pretty cool, actually. An aged wooden farmhouse sits quietly at the twilight hour. That's really cool, actually. The sky paints a myriad of hues, from amber to dim violet. Yeah, no, I think this could be fun, actually. It's fun to see what it comes up with. I think this could work. I don't know. It'll either be a monumental failure, or it'll be like, oh wow, why has nobody else thought of this? Maybe somebody has. I have no idea, but I don't know. At the moment, I kind of feel like I'm exploring the unexplored. As Captain Corbium right now, because I don't imagine there's that many people who want to make a game like that to begin with, and if they did, they'd probably rather write their own stories and their own characters and stuff like that, which I would be fine to do. It's just the problem I have. What excites me about AI is its unpredictable nature, right? I think one of the worst things about game development is it takes you 6 billion years to make anything, and by the time you finished it, you're so sick and tired of looking at the thing, and you know exactly what's going to happen. That you yourself would never want to play. It's like the last game in the universe you would ever want to play, because you're just so sick and tired of it. It can't possibly surprise you. But if you can get, a mixture of random numbers and AI to create something you've never seen before, and then present it to you, and there is a way to win at that kind of setup, then even me as the creator could be like, okay, this is wow. I never saw that coming, and that's kind of what I'm hoping to achieve with that, because I think that could be pretty fun. All right, well, so far so good. I think that's a good start. So we have some random people, we have random scenarios, settings. We can get images setting the scene for us, and yeah, I think that's enough for one day, though. Okay, I'm glad we got that working. That was fun. So what now? I don't know. I might just jump in Danganronpa 2 because that's it's definitely inspiring me. Yeah, and it shows. I think it shows that I'm getting better at this kind of API stuff as well. Because like that took a couple of attempts. Yeah, I was going to eat breakfast, but the dog groomers just walked in. Well, I can hear they came about half an hour ago or something. It's just as I was about to do that. I'm quite hungry as well, and I just know that there's going to be stuff all over because she brings this table and oh god, and I just can't be asked now. I'm like, I don't really want to deal with all that. So I'll just wait. Yeah, I'll just wait, I think. Okay, well the intro should kill plenty of time. Right, do we want to jump straight into that? Is there anything else I want to do? I know Star Rail's had a new banner, but I don't give a shit about him. Probably fine for another day. I do need to jump in Star Rail at some point so that I don't overflow on energy and whatnot. But I don't think I need to worry about it right now. Right. Oh, no, she won't actually. She okay, so in order for her to get this game in the database, now I have to manually set my Twitch up for the first time. Right, what I'll do then, I'll end the stream because I like it when YouTube has like a separate title for each game or whatever. So I'll end the stream, come back up straight away, just with the new tags and everything, and it just makes things a bit nicer for YouTube at least. And then she can change. No, I'm gonna have to do all this manually for the first time, I think. Yeah. I'm going to set that up first. I have 7 viewers right now. Holy crap. So we want Danganronpa. That's not it. I'm just used to clicking that one, aren't I? It must be this one, is it? 2, Goodbye Despair. Alright, so we'll do more shenanigans with the... What was I calling him, actually? I came up with a... Well, I called him Fuzzy Tits, I think, but probably Twitch wouldn't like that. What about Fuzzy Butt? How about that? Fuzzy Butt Head. More shenanigans with Fuzzy Butt Head. Danganronpa 2. Dang and run. That is right. It's just it doesn't know what that word is. Alright, so that can do nicely. Oh, I'm not allowed to have Butthead. This title may conflict with Twitch's moderation. You can't have Butthead. What if you were playing Beavis and Butthead the game? It's just you can't have Butthead. Seriously. That is the most mild. Are you actually serious right now? I'll do butt_head then. How about that? Butt_head. Okay. That was not an evil laugh. That was just a normal laugh. I don't care what you say. Alright, and then we want to copy that into YouTube, and then I'll come straight back up with a new stream. Alright, I'll be back now.